Hi, I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Audrina, and you're listening to Ag Certified.
Today, we have the privilege of speaking with the Career Technical Education Specialist of Cengage, an educational technology and publishing company, Mr. Eric Vasquez.
How are you today, first of all?
Doing good, doing good. I'm in Colorado today, so it's been warm and nice out. So it's been an awesome trip.
Awesome, that's great. Can you tell us your role as a CTE specialist and what like a typical day in your life looks like?
Yeah, so my role is, well, first, Eric Vasquez. I'm a CTE specialist for Cengage. What my typical role is and what I do is that I work with districts to connect our company, which is a publishing company, with districts' needs, whether it be all CTE components from cosmetology to health sciences, and in this case, FFA or agriculture. And so I basically just go around to different districts and introduce myself, kind of talk to them how we can support doing things like this podcast. I've gone to FFA meetings. I've done different things just to support students' growth in the program, as well as the district not necessarily knowing what direction they want to go. So we'll see a lot of districts like adopting, like, for example, maybe an agriculture program in their high school. They don't know what direction to go. So I'm there to help them with whether it be the curriculum part of it, get them online, books, anything like that to kind of help them along.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what opportunities are available for students who may not want to attend like a four-year university?
So obviously there's the community college route, which I'm a big proponent of it. And like I said, it's a big, big piece, especially in California, where it's community colleges everywhere. I mean, from all the way north or south of San Diego, all the way up north to the border of Oregon. So the community college route is obviously an option as well. But also what we've been seeing and what I've been seeing being in this role is that students don't even need to go straight to community college or high school because they've gotten so much, I guess, knowledge or so much background in their specific, in this case, ag, in their specific to like learning that they can go right into specific jobs. One of the big ones that I've seen a lot of is the welding piece and any sort of like hands-on type manufacturing work that I've been to. And I'm going to shout out Rio Linda High School because I was up there one time and visiting, and they have a great welding. The teacher's been awesome. And she was just telling me that how their students will go right out and start working in, whether it be a farm, whether it be a manufacturing place, to do that piece as well.
Awesome. How important are hands-on experiences like FFA, SAE projects, internships, or job shadowing to career development?
And I think you guys know this too as students and even your peers, is that we don't all learn just from taking notes. We don't all learn just from somebody lecturing us. And I was in that boat too. I was there too, years ago, obviously. But there are so many students out there that if they could talk with their hands, they would have a PhD. And I really, really believe that. So I think these opportunities are an important piece to it. And I'll even go one step further. I was meeting with one of the authors of our textbooks here in Colorado today, and legislative passed a bill, an actual bill here in Colorado, where they need 12 hours of hands-on learning experiences in the CT world in Colorado. So it's not just a California thing, Nevada thing. It's going across the country where they're starting to understand that, look, our kids, if they can show us that they can do things with their hands, hands-on work, out in the real world, internships, anything like that, what a great opportunity for them to just start building a career out of that.
For sure.
Yeah, so what does some of your agriculture curriculum look like for different students, depending on their goals?
Well, I'm going to use the welding one. We just came out with a really good welding book. It's I think maybe 8th or 9th edition. It is pretty thick, but the one thing that I did notice about it, it is so hands-on. You have pictures with written, you have, experiences with that. You have different opportunities to grow in the fact of building models, fixing, anything like that. So that's one of the books that really has kind of been taken off for us. That's been really good. The other one is the floriculture one. For whatever reason in California, it's taken off. It's of its mind of its own. And the reason it's such a big thing there is that is also it's a long-term thing. If you know that piece of the world, horticulture, floriculture, everybody's going to have a house someday. You're going to have to do your own garden. You're going to have to do your own. I mean, so it really turns into something that we're building lifelong learners with our curriculum, not just because they're sophomores or just because they're juniors. It's something that it's really, and I'll even take it one step. For Mother's Day, I got my wife the floriculture book. So, and she's, 55 years old, and she wanted it because we have a garden out back. And so it's amazing on what our curriculums can really do with that, and basically making them lifelong learners.
Yeah, that's awesome. How does your company, or even other companies that you've seen, how do they support students pursuing careers in agriculture?
Well, one of the things that we see a lot of is just we help with internships. That's one of the big ones, is that the district will come to us and go, hey, do you have any connections in the real world? Think of some of your teachers that may have come from the real world of agriculture or anything like that and now are teaching. Well, they have connections to place students into those roles. So we help them with that a lot. We see that a lot of, because we know that's how you get your foot in the door. I mean, I can even think of when I was a teacher. I taught for 17 years. We had a student teach first. Well, very similar to that. So we work with districts in that regard. We kind of get them connected with certain people, criteria. The other piece that we do is different certifications to have the ability to go work, to be able to put it on a resume, to be able to go out and have that ability to go work. And I think that's an important piece too, is that our curriculums are able to do that, coupled with some of the demos that are done online. You guys are an online generation. So when we have online stuff and we're able to kind of work through it, you guys are so smart. Your generation is so smart that you're able to put that together, bring it to the real world. AI will not replace you guys. They won't. But you can pull some stuff from AI and bring it to the real world and be able to manage that pig for the farming, for the cows and stuff like that. So it's a really big piece for us to make sure that we're preparing you all for the next step.
Mm-hmm. So how can agricultural education programs keep pace with the industry through its innovations and new developments in ag?
I think it's your teacher's responsibility in that. Like I said, I don't want to I know teachers have so many different responsibilities and have all this, but I really believe, especially because a lot of the teachers in CTE, and we'll use ag, they come from that background. Well, they're so used to what they have been taught, right? These people have been maybe on a farm since they were yay big, and now they've only learned. Well, if we can keep on growing them with professional development and different things that will bring into their classroom, that will help them. One of the pieces that we do at Cengage, we have a program called Visible Body, and it's basically an Adamridge table, which is what the big body. You can have it on your screen now, but we also do animals. You can dissect an animal on your computer. Wow. Well, if a teacher can kind of grasp that and go, let's do this, how great would it be to be able to do that on an iPad, your phone, as opposed to having to go buy 30 fetuses, So there's different things like that I think it's important for the teachers to kind of grab a hold of.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Jonathan, I think you had the next question.
Oh, yes. Sorry. So what skills are employers in agriculture looking for most in their new hires?
From just seeing out in the world, talking to different people in the world, and like I said, I've been to a couple meetings with FFA. One of the things that they've always talked about is having that. How can I put this? That dedication to it. So you guys can learn. Students can learn different tasks, physical tasks. They got to have a little bit of mind behind it. But one of the things they always say is you got to be wanting the dedication to the work. Mm-hmm. Because it's work. Agriculture is work. It is getting your hands dirty. It is doing that. And I think they don't realize that. I don't think students always realize that. They think, oh, it's going to be out there raising a pig or, harvesting some animals. But it's a whole different world when it becomes in real life. You got to build that chicken coop. You got to build, different. I was at a high school about a month ago, and they were just building their rabbit cages, and they had to make sure that the rabbits were separated from the males because of the female. Like I said, there's so much that goes into it, and they want those students to be lifelong learners when it comes to the dedication behind the hard work.
Absolutely. What agriculture careers do you believe are currently in the highest demand as of right now?
You got to realize the ones that are not going to be able to get AI driven out, like AI is not going to be able to take them out. Welding is one of them, manufacturing. So we'll say manufacturing, building, anything like that. They're not going to be able to do raising animals, anything like that. The horticulture piece is a big one too, because like I said, all these in the ag domain, so to speak, AI can't take away. Horticulture, welding, even raising, animals for food, anything like that. I think that's going to be a big piece to it. One of the biggest ones that I've seen, floriculture, horticulture, raising plants, growing your own food. We know groceries are expensive. Your parents probably tell you that all the time, but that's a big piece right now. That's one thing that we're really seeing, that farming type. Hey, I'm growing my own stable of produce, going to farmers markets and selling. People make a very good living out of that. And I think that's going to be an important piece as we move forward.
For sure. And I know you were talking about like AI and how some jobs can or can't be run by AI. How is technology changing the future of agriculture careers in a positive sense?
In a positive sense, that's a great question, because like I said, my kids call me a boomer, or they always say, "Oh, you were AI, Dad." But it's really interesting to see how it's helped in some of the courses that we even have developed. And like I said, I know I keep on going back to like the welding or the automotive or the heavy duty machinery, but those are the ones that really you can go online. You can learn a lot online through AI and then apply it. And I think that's a big piece, especially for employers, to see that you can take something and apply it to something. And that's huge. I mean, that's a huge cognitive lift for a lot of students. But for students that enjoy this, that's where they're going to start making hundreds of thousands of dollars, because of the fact of now all of a sudden you can do two things. I can get on a computer, I could formulate a system, but then I can also put it into real life. So that's where it's helping us a lot, when especially like our company, we're changing over our platform right now. It's called MindTap. It's going to Explorer. Well, it's going to be a little bit more friendly driven behind the AI tools, just friendly driven as far as for students to get on and not go, "Oh my gosh, where am I? I don't even know where I'm at." So I think that's going to be an important piece as technology keeps growing.
Yeah. Absolutely. So how do you think that high school students can best prepare themselves for a career in agriculture?
You got to have an interest. I don't think it's something that, oh, my friend's taking it, so I should take it type of deal. The other thing that I've talked to, especially like I was at the FFA conference this just past spring, and they had middle schoolers in there. And it was really interesting to say, what brought you into the FFA world? And what they said was, I was exposed to it at an early age, meaning I was brought out there to the farm. I didn't need to learn anything. I didn't need to sit there and go, "Oh, this is what the pig does. This is the reproduction." It was strictly being exposed to it. So I think that's a big piece to it. So and I'll give you another example of it, is that, and this is if I was back at a high school and I was an administrator again, did all that, this is how I would promote it, was take older students like you, and when freshmen are ready to register for classes, you take them on a tour. You don't tell them what the classes are like. You don't need to tell them it. You just show them what it's going to look like at the end. And I think that's super important, because I remember going to a couple high schools now and seeing them grow their pigs, their hogs and whatever. And then I ended up going to state fair and seeing them win prizes. Yeah. And you're like, man, what a great way to see the progression of your success.
Absolutely.
And I think young kids need to see that.
For sure. What are some common misconceptions that students have about careers in agriculture?
It goes back to that students working with their hands. They think, oh, they're dumb, so they're going to go shovel dirt. That and I hear that a lot. Oh, you're an ag, so you're just kind of out there playing with animals. No, it's such a bigger picture than that. So I think that's a common misconception of, oh, you're only enrolled in that because you couldn't pass biology or because you couldn't pass this. And in reality, it's so much more deeper, and it's a little bit more higher level than that, especially some of those agri-science classes, those equine classes, when you're dealing with horses, and what a great profession that's going to be, if you're going to do that. Veterinarians, anything that deals with those animals, I think the misconception is, oh, it's just because you couldn't pass math 2. It has nothing to do with that.
For sure.
So that's a very big misconception.
Yeah. Well, I think that's it for now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. Is there anything you would like to share with us or even our viewers before we close?
No, I think this is a great opportunity. And I talked about exposure a little bit to FFA. You guys are doing, and this talks about this technology piece, and you two are doing this great opportunity with a podcast. How do you take a podcast now and bring it, expose it to the FFA? So it's those type of things that need to keep going. So I hope you're going to pass this down when you graduate to somebody else and they pass it down. So then when you're a teacher or you're in a position like me, you can look back and go, hey, I started that. And that's where I think students really need to see. They want that end goal. And so you guys are doing a great job with this. And I've been telling everybody, I've been very jealous because I've always wanted to start a podcast. So I've been spreading the word. So when it catches on, you guys are the founding fathers behind this. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
We appreciate it. My name is Audrina.
And I'm Jonathan, and you've been listening to Ag Certified.